That means many vintage items are back in style, and here to show us looks using clothes from the 50s all the way to those 90s. Fashion stylist Grant Whitaker is back with us.
You're killing us with 90s being vintage, but I guess that is the case.
Well, and I'm like all in 90s. You know, a little pop of color, really bright color, a little bit of leather. It's very Karl Lagerfeld inspired.
Okay.
So
this is fun. You've got some great looks, and let's get into it. Let's get Maggie out here. She's our first model, okay?
All right, Maggie.
So she's sporting a little vintage look.
Yeah. So Maggie's got, what I did with Maggie is, we've got, again, we're looking at these trends, we're looking at trends that come back. So I took this kind of 50s, 60s inspired look.
Yeah.
So we paired it. We've got this great capelet, we've got this great turban that we're working with. As we move down, we've got this beautiful teal turquoise dress. It's a great cocktail dress. But then we make it a little bit more current by adding that tone-on-tone tight.
Okay.
So it's the similar tone but different tone, and then we move down and we've got a great pump that goes with it as well. So we've matched the vintage handbag, we've got the great jewelry, so it pulls it all together. So this is, again, something that we're seeing within the season. It's very a la Chanel, but this, again, is something that comes from the 50s and the 60s.
So here's a harsh question for the fashion world. Do we have these vintage looks because we got nothing good going on right now? Or is this in itself going to be the good thing in 20 years?
Well, I think the thing is, just like everything, if something is good, it does come back.
Yeah.
So I think what we're finding here is this is a really good cut that is coming back, so people get inspired by it.
Okay.
But it comes back in different ways, different fabrics, different colors, different molds, different patterns.
So it's its own look in its own way.
I like how the hair and makeup really coordinates, and I can see sort of just taking pieces of that. Like if you didn't want to do the whole vintage clothing look, you could maybe love the look of her eyes or love the sleek hair and do that with something that you're wearing today.
Well, and that's a great point. It's a great time. We had Anna Maria and Nicole from Denny Kemp Salon that came in and helped us with that.
Yeah.
Because it's a whole inspiration. It's the whole look and the vibe. And we go back to also a little bit of that madman spirit that people are always interested in. People want to see how you put it all together.
Plus, this is recycling, all vintage. This is awesome.
Is,
great way to
exactly.
go. Thanks, Maggie.
And affordable.
Really affordable. Yeah, that's the way to go.
Karen is our next model.
Come on up, Karen.
And what era are we talking about here, Grant?
So here with Karen, I've done a mix of all different eras. So what I wanted to do was kind of pull this together and think of something that was more a la Minnesota. We're going into the winter season. People are looking for a great coat.
It's warm, yeah.
Yeah, so this is a great faux fur. So this actually came from the 60s. Then I've paired it up with an 80s blouse that's got a pop of purple color that's underneath. As we move down then, we've got these cute little pop of purple gloves, just something simple that you could find anywhere. But then as we move down to the skirt, we're seeing a lot of these bold graphic prints this season.
You almost made it look like a long peplum.
Yeah, and the thing is, it's a great neutral. Gray is a great neutral. But then what we've done again is we've spiced it up with the colored tights and the shoes. But it's all that graphic print that's kind of pulling the look and making it a little bit more modern.
I think this is very fun, yeah. And then the hair and makeup really goes with it too. I love the dark eyes and the neutral lip.
You like anything with the purple stockings there going on.
Right. I do like purple tights. I know, I have a pair that I got to bust out.
And the other point too is, we've got models from Vision Models today, but the nice thing is anybody could wear this. This is a look too. Again, we've got the belted look. It's flattering on any body type, any shape. So just a good ensemble.
So my question is, when you go into a vintage store, how do you pick out what's good and what's not good?
So the thing is, the clothing that we have today is from Circa Vintage. So there's different places where you can get it. Vintage is affordable, so that's one way to look at it. What you want to do is pick and piece something that that might be a flattering shape for your body.
Okay.
I always say to people, try on something. If it works for you, then when you're going into somewhere else where it's discount, you can find a good buy.
Okay, sounds good. That's good. Thank you,
Karen.
Looking good.
Hey, Janae's next.
Bring out Janae. We'll see her look. And this one's a little more 70s inspired.
Yes.
Okay.
So with Janae, I'm kind of working the 70s, kind of that really great era. I love that really good. We're seeing again, I love to talk about prints. I love to talk about color. We've seen a lot of it in the last 2 seasons.
I love her poofy hair.
You'll never get lost with that outfit, Janae.
Well, the nice thing about this is it's something that you could take from spring and then take it into fall. Like if I threw a great fur or something over this, it would be amazing. The nice thing too is we also are all talking, because we're Minnesotans, we're going to be looking to go on vacation. This is the perfect kind of resort thing to pack in the bag, take with you.
Yeah.
It's good for here, it's good for vacation. So it's great from the 70s, but it's good for now.
This is really fun. I like
It's like a picture of Hawaii at sunset itself.
Wooden beads.
Well, the interesting thing too is we're seeing a lot of these inspired colors and prints. Teresa Norton, for example, a really great known designer, kind of did a knockoff of this print. So this is a really well-known kind of caftan and kind of dress, really great inspired resort. But we're seeing a lot of this right now.
And the poof hair and the bright pink cheeks, super, super cute. Looking good, Janae. Thank you so much.
Donna has kind of got a wide mix here as well.
Right.
This is what's so interesting, is that you don't just have to stick with one decade.
Yeah.
You're mixing
I've
pieces
never heard
from
about
all
that
over the
before.
place. Ooh, fun.
So this was really, gold and black I think is something that we see every season.
Yeah.
Gucci really brought it back strong this season, and so I wanted to kind of pull that whole vibe together.
I'm hearing Michael Jackson music, and I thought there's a little Michael Jackson in that outfit.
Well, and the skirt is actually very 80s. The handbag is very 80s inspired. The belt is very 80s inspired. This bow tie blouse came in from the 70s into the 80s. We're seeing it in every season.
Yeah.
So it's a whole mix of a little bit of that metallic. But, again, this is something that becomes a little bit more of an evening statement.
So did you do the blouse and then it's underneath a little tank?
A little shell, yeah, exactly.
Wow, that is very brilliant.
So all of it ties together. It creates a really good line. At the bottom of this, we tied it together with that leopard shoe. But, here we've got this great metallic statement. And again, something like this, too, is great every season. It's also great on any skin tone. And it's a great look altogether.
I like this look. I really like that a lot. That's a very creative idea. Very fun. Thank you, Donna. Looking good. Okay, so you can see more vintage looks. Grant, thank you so much. You can check out the grand opening party. Grant mentioned this place. It's called Circa Vintage. It's in Wayzata. Party is tonight at 6. We have details on our website. And if you mention Twin Cities Live, you will get 25% off your final purchase through Saturday. So again, all the details on twincitieslive.com. Just go there and click on fashion.
All right, up next, how you can nominate someone you know who needs an update to their look.